This is a SandyBoy Productions podcast.
Welcome to the Urban Pharmacy Podcast, where we help women remove the overwhelm of living their most holistic life. This is the place to find evidence-based nutrition tactics, healthy lifestyle and wellness tips, abundance mindset, and easily implementable low-tox living strategies so you can rise up to your full potential and protect your family's health. I'm your host, Stacey, certified holistic nutritionist and better living advocate. Now, let's get empowered with some simple swaps that make a big impact for optimal wellness.
Welcome back to the Urban Pharmacy Podcast. I hope you are having the best day ever. Today's guest is Alexis Greco, and she is the founder of the Rhythmic Home, an Army wife of 11 years and homeschool mom to 4 children ages 8 and under. She has been in network marketing for 15 years and reached the top 1% of her company. She now supports network marketers to create the thriving home and business of their dreams through systems. She believes that you can be successful at home and in your business at the same time. You can find her on Instagram at Alexis T. Greco and take her free quiz to find out how much money you're leaving on the table by not operating in your own rhythm. Today's conversation is so fun. Alexis and I talk about how important systems can be to our success, and I think that you are going to find a lot of inspiration from this conversation. If you love it, make sure you tag us and leave a review and share with people that you love. All right, here's Alexis. Alexis Greco, welcome to the Urban Pharmacy Podcast, my friend.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
I am so excited to have you. We connected on social media, and to me, from what I know about you, you are the queen of systems, and probably that means you're an organized human being. And that is something that I need in my life, and I know so many people need in their life. And by the way, as a girl that's probably quite organized, I just got done interviewing a man named Andrew Mellon. If you don't know about him yet, he is called the most organized man in America. So you definitely need to follow him. Yes. And
taking notes.
I'm sure you could just add to your tool belt with all of his tips and tricks, but you are good at systems. Tell me about how you got started doing what you're doing, why you do it, and who you serve.
Yeah. So I started, well, if we start at the very beginning, let's just say, I think I came out of the womb, like organizing things. It is in my blood. I really love doing it. But entrepreneurship started very young with me. Both of my parents are entrepreneurs. So I grew up, my mom is a doctor. I grew up in her office, like folding insurance forms at 7 and 8 years old, like way back when. But I started in network marketing when I was 18. And that's where everything began for me. I was in it for a very long time before I stepped into leadership, was in that leadership position for about 5 years and absolutely loved it. I'm actually still a part of network marketing at this point, but that is why I serve females in that area, the women in network marketing. And before my company, the Rhythmic Home, started, I looked back and I realized every single time that I would train, whether it was like a small local meeting or a big fall retreat or a big director's call, I lit up when I would teach about systems. And people would come to me and they'd be like, how did you know to do that? Or how are you doing all of these things when you have a million kids and all these things going on? And it wasn't because I was great. It was just because I had realized, oh, if you weave together certain systems, they create this rhythm in your life. And so that's kind of what brought me here today.
Oh my gosh. So good. Okay. So how many kids do you have?
Okay. I have 4 kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
4 children. And so you knew going into motherhood, the organization was going to be, and systems were going to be part of your life. Before we get into like business and technology and stuff like that, what tips do you have for moms? That's broad. That's a broad question.
Let's see. Let me first give some perspective. So my kids are 8, 5, 4, and 2. So I'm very much in those stages of motherhood right now. Still have a couple in diapers. One is potty training. Like we're there right now. And we homeschool. So that is an added component to our life. But some of the things that I would say for moms, the biggest thing would be consider how you put your home to bed at night, because the way that you put it to bed is the way that you will wake up to it in the morning. And yours will be very different from mine. For me, I noticed when my kids got old enough, my kids would come to me in the morning and it was like, I drank all my water. Can I have some more water? Can I have some more water? Well, I'm not awake in 60 miles an hour first thing in the morning, but at one point, all 4 of them were like, we need more water. And I thought, okay, wait a minute. This is a point of tension in the mornings. And so I started filling up their water cups at night and putting it at their chairs. And I have a couple of kids now that love orange juice in the morning. So I fill their orange juice cup up and put it in the fridge at night. So just look at, how do you put your home to bed? Do you want to have all the dishes done? Do you want the laundry folded? Does that not matter to you? Do you want the coffee set? And the way that I process through it is that I want what I want more than what I don't want. I want what I want more than what I don't want. So I want a morning of ease. So maybe I don't want to fill all the water cups the night before, but I do it anyway. I want a clean sink in the morning. So I don't want to be doing dishes at night, right? But I don't want to do that, but I want my morning more than that. So it just kind of weighs out, what can you do? An easy word to say would be preparation. But what can you do now to set you up for success later? And even if you're not in business, success could mean you have a morning where you're not getting frustrated with the kids. Or you have a morning where your husband isn't, or you aren't searching through the clean laundry pile trying to find underwear to wear for the day, right? Yes. So really just considering how you put your home to bed at night, because it will set you up for success the next day.
So good. That's so powerful. Yeah. And I always find that if I don't button up the house at night or get it to exactly the way that mama wants it, honestly, I wake up in a bad mood. I wake up in less than optimal spirits, because what I want to do in the morning is go straight to my office, put my legs up the wall, do my meditation, put my makeup on, whatever, then come back out to the household and do the things, right? And the last thing that I want to do is come out and see the dishes still in the sink, which happened this morning. And that made me mad because I didn't do it last night. But I've been telling myself, God, I literally am filling the dishwasher every night because I've been cooking so much for like Instagram Live and all that stuff, but whatever. Anyway, it was less happy. And what I would like to do is go out and be able to fill my essential oil diffusers, turn those on, set the tone, especially on a day of homeschool with my son, and just like chill and just focus on eating, focus on one thing after the other. And, I love that tip. So how you put your home to bed at night. Very powerful. Okay. Now, sticking with the motherhood, Alexis, let's go a little bit into homeschooling, because I haven't even gone there yet. And I do have a teammate of mine, actually 2 teammates of mine who've been homeschooling longer than I have. So I want to ask them all the questions here on the podcast, but let's start with you as a homeschooling mama, because I forgot about that part, that you're a homeschooling mama. Tell me about how this could probably be a whole episode, but where do you start when it comes to organizing a homeschool space? What do you coach women through if they want to homeschool? Or maybe you haven't come across this, you probably have, but do we need a designated room, or do we just need a designated space? Are there certain containers, or do you just think everything, all the like things should be in one spot? Like, what does it look like for you? What are your tips?
Okay, this is such a great question. And we probably could do multiple episodes on this, but just the first thing that comes to mind is 99% of us are not going to have Better Homes and Gardens walk through our front door tomorrow, or Joanna and Chip. And so it is okay if you have things in your home that don't seem, quote, normal. Like that's not supposed to go in the living room, right? I have diapers and wipes on my coffee table. Season of life that we're in. So the way our home is laid out, our dining and our living room and our kitchen really are one big open area. And in the corner of it, we have a desk. It's a big table with 4 chairs, a bookcase. Kids' goal posters are there, their calendar, there's a rug, there's an easel, and it honestly takes up half of our dining room. And that's just what we do, right? Like that's just our life right now. So if you have a dedicated room, great. And if you don't, you probably have a kitchen table or an island. And maybe you get a rolling cart that you can put all your supplies in. I was just talking with another homeschool mom this morning. She's like, we do school all over our house. So maybe you have a rolling cart that keeps the books and all of those things together. When it comes to containers and bins, I mean, I know the Home Edit just came out with the really cute things that they're selling at Walmart for organization, but you don't need all of that. I mean, we have a bookcase from IKEA. I think it was 30 or 40 bucks. It holds everything. And enough of us get Amazon boxes where you could probably take a big one and make that work. So really, I think it's whatever season is working for you right now. It's so easy to see. I was just talking about how we can look at people's other Instagram stories and they have 16, 20, 24, however many dots across the top. And we feel like, wow, I'm not doing so great, right? Like I don't have all those things that she does or he does. And we forget that is literally 5 or 6 minutes of their 24 hours. And so we compare our 24 hours to the 5 minutes that they may choose to show us. And so, whether you're following homeschool moms or Magnolia, like whatever you're following or anywhere in between, like you have to figure out what works for you. What is functional for you in this season? And if you have young kids, there's a chance that might change every 2 to 3 months, and depending on your children's learning abilities, all of that can look so different. So I would just encourage you, it's okay for things to be not in the quote normal place. And maybe like me, I have to come to the reality sometimes that I have to release this white knuckle grip on what I think it should look like and just go with what best suits my babies at that moment.
Yeah. Okay. So you have kiddos at home and you are a working mom. You have your services that you provide to people and you're a network marketer. How have you found, and do you teach people through like time management systems in terms of, how to fit all of it in? What does that look like for you in particular? And do you have like specific approaches that you teach people about with that regard?
I do. And the first thing I always recommend, and I do this for myself too, is really to step out of what you're doing at this time, like take a step back, take an aerial view and assess almost like a puzzle. What are all your puzzle pieces on the table right now? And are there some that we can put away? Are there some that they need to be there? Like they are the foundation of what's important to you, AKA they're your priorities, they're your values. And sometimes you might just need to readjust and say, right now, I can't do XYZ. It doesn't mean it's, a no forever. I just have to say no to it right now. Because what you just asked me is what people ask me all the time, like, how do you do it all? And the answer is 1, I don't. I have a lot of automation. I have a lot of delegation, but I also say no to a lot of things. If it doesn't move the needle forward in my business, I'm probably not doing it during business hours. If it doesn't mean I'm around a table with a meal with my family or we're playing together, it's probably a no in this season right now. And I know it won't always be like that, but really, how do you do it all? The first step I would say is to assess what is important to you right now. Maybe you need to take some things off the table. Maybe you need to realize, oh, this is important to me and it hasn't been getting the spotlight that it deserves. Let's readjust that and make sure that it does.
Yeah. So powerful. I love that. Yeah. And, like when you have a life that you're living by design, you find ways to make it work. Like you said, you have automation and you have delegation. And that's something that I teach my clients. Like, look, you're going to hit the point where you can't do it all. Okay. So I tell them, like, look, you're going to have to delegate eventually. Like, if you are saying that you don't have time to keep your house clean because you want to do your outreach for your network marketing business or your follow-up or send samples or have a pop-up or whatever it might be. If you are finding that to be true, then maybe it's time to have somebody come in and help you with cleaning the house. Like it's not like you can do that for everything, but like what's important to you, you'll find a way. Right. And I love that. So just kind of assessing really truly what works for you and your life. Hey, before we get too far into today's episode, I want to be sure that you remember that you can become an advocate for Beautycounter right alongside me and my team, Team Rise, which is a collective group of women who are pulled together, whether we're moms, working mamas, homeschooling mamas, single mamas, whatever it is. You are invited, and we are a collective raising our voices and helping people switch to safer skincare and cosmetics. You can do this with us. I want to give you a little bit of the details, what it looks like to be an advocate for Beautycounter. So again, if you're a member, it's only $21 to enroll. But if you're not, you can enroll for $50. And if you get a starter set this month, you'll get a free $153 worth of skincare package when you do this. But what being an advocate really does is brings you to the other side of this business, not just as a consumer shifting the market, but as somebody who is helping others shift the market to a safer place and protect their health with safer options. You get paid 25 to 35% commission for anything that you share and sell. And then if anybody decides to join you and join us along this mission and this movement, you're going to get anywhere from 5 to 9% on anyone that joins your team. So that's a really lucrative opportunity, and you can take it and run with it, or you can just have a casual business. It's really truly what you want. In addition to that, you get a 25% discount on everything that you buy, or even up to 100% depending on if you have a pop-up open, which we could talk through more. You also get exclusive pre-sale perks and a community to join that really is band together to just help each other out and to form a community and a sisterhood. And it's a really, really beautiful thing. I want to be sure that you don't miss out on it, especially during this month of March, because we have this awesome enrollment offer going on, and you're not going to want to miss out on the free skincare package that comes with your starter set purchase. Just click the link down in my bio. If you have any questions about joining, there's a Calendly link, and you can absolutely have a conversation with me or just DM me on Instagram. And if you're ready to sign up and go all in and do this, hit that join button down in the show notes. I can't wait for you to change the beauty industry with us. All right, back to the show. Okay, so let's pivot a little bit more into the entrepreneurship and network marketing, because I mean, this might be a little self-serving, but I'm in network marketing and I want to know systems. Like let's, I'm going to title this podcast like Organization for Moms and Entrepreneurs and Network Marketers. Let's talk network marketing in particular, Alexis. Like, what did you find when you kind of had this epiphany? Like, wow, I'm really good at this. I'm really good at creating systems. Like for network marketers in particular, like what systems, maybe your top 3 systems, would you say are the most powerful to help people succeed?
Top 3 systems for network marketers, they would fall under the umbrella of automation and delegation. So this might not be in like a 1, 2, 3 order, because I'm just going to say them as they come to mind. Mm-hmm. The first would be, we know since March of 2020 how important and vital our virtual world is to our business, right? That's how we do things now. And if you haven't realized yet, you may realize soon that the way to elevate your voice among the masses, if you will, is to go that extra mile, is to give your clients that extra touch, is to show that you care about them human to human. That will elevate you and your business among everyone else that is speaking to your client, your audience on social media. And so one of the ways you can do that is you actually can automate that. So the first thing that came to mind is I use a program called Project Broadcast. Skipio is another one similar. You actually can go into these, they're apps. They go on your phone. They give you a separate number. So you have your personal phone number and then you have your work phone number. But in Project Broadcast, for example, you can go in and record an audio that sounds something like, hey, it's Alexis. Listen, I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday today. I hope it is wonderful. And if you have time, I'd love to know, what are you doing to celebrate today? Okay, have a great one. You can record that and schedule that for each of your clients' birthdays. So on their birthdays, they are getting a voicemail from you. Now, maybe if you're just starting and you have, 20 or 30 clients, you could personalize that. Hey, Stacey, it's Alexis. Just want to check in with you. Happy birthday kind of thing. But as you grow, you can personalize that. Another thing that you can do is you can schedule out emails. You can do it with paid services like MailChimp, Kartra, things like that. But you also can do it for free on Gmail. The Project Broadcast I shared with you, that's $10 to $15 a month. Gmail, you could do that for free. So what's a system for network marketers? Maybe every week, every 2 weeks, you are emailing your clients something valuable. Not, this is on sale, here's a promotion, help me with this, buy this. But you are saying, hey, I sell eyeliner. I'm going to show you a 2-minute video tutorial of how to get the perfect cat eye. Nothing about selling, and you schedule that out on Gmail. It's free. So that way, you are homeschooling your kids or you're cooking dinner and these emails are going out. And those things are, like I said, elevating your voice because your customers are like, oh, she actually cares about me as a human, as a person. So those are two that come to mind where you can grow your business. Scale is such a sexy word right now, right? Like you can scale your business, but you can keep that one-on-one touch with those people. And I know in our conversations before recording, we talked about social media a lot. Like, how do you do systems with that? You could record, a 15-second video. If you want to do it on stories, if you want to use a filter and then just save it and then don't post it to your stories, but save that 15-second video as a favorite on your camera roll. And then every time you have a new follower, you could pop that video over to them. And just a little tip about that, like Stacey and I are sitting on a Zoom looking at each other right now. Like you wouldn't want to record your video like that. Maybe it's you like getting in the car. Hey, I just saw that you followed me. I want to think like it's you in real life. So it comes across authentic because most of the people I'm talking to right now, your heart is that you want to welcome that new follower. But when you start to grow at a rate, when you start to scale, maybe you're not able to record a custom video for each of those people, but you can have one that's pre-ready and just pop that over, or your virtual assistant can do it for you. So those are ways that you can really automate and delegate, but you can still keep that personal touch in our fully virtual world at this point.
Yeah, so powerful. What do you think about in terms of systems with teams? Like if somebody wants to grow a team with network marketing, we're still staying on network marketing here. Like, what are the top tips that you have with that? Because I think that that's honestly something that holds people back. Having systems, having automation in any way. When it comes to growing their team, they feel like they have to babysit. And then they're like, well, I don't want to do that because I don't want to micromanage people. You know what I mean? So like, what kind of systems have you found have helped you? Do you utilize Project Broadcast? I do. I utilize Project Broadcast to reach out to clients and teams. I think it's an amazing app. But like, aside from that, maybe what do you think is a good way to help streamline teams, big or small, in direct sales?
I think even before you create the systems for onboarding a new person or reminding them about your weekly team calls or reminding them about the company promotions, if we get down to it, you actually have to have people to work with first, right? So like if you don't have a team, your focus, perhaps consider it not being on creating this amazing, intricate onboarding system, but getting out and making those outreaches and connecting with those people one-on-one. And it is such a fine balance of, okay, I've got a couple team members now. It might feel like in that moment, okay, I have to stop. I have to create this whole onboarding intricate process. But what if you created that along the way? As your team grew, that onboarding process grew with you. The way you remind them about weekly trainings grew as your team grew. And you can be very frank with your people. Like, I'm so excited. You're my 5th team member. Hey, what would be helpful for you, Stacey? Do you like getting text reminders about our weekly emails? Like, do you prefer a Facebook link to pop up? And start listening to what your people are saying. And then if everyone's saying text, I use Project Broadcast too for everything. You could go out and schedule that. Every Tuesday night at 8:45, it goes out for your Tuesday at 9:00 training. Or you put it out on the Facebook group. And so maybe you have a note going in your phone on, my people really like to communicate this way. Like they all love text or they all love Facebook. And you can have such a beautiful onboarding system, reminder system, recognition program as you grow, but just know it is okay for that to grow with you. You don't have to have all of that in place to attract a team.
Yeah.
They will be attracted to you first. So be a human, like be you, and those people will come, and then you can build that as it grows.
Hey friend, from the previous message, you know I'm all about that low tox life, and Portland Bee Balm is no different. Beyond the amazing quality of their balm, Portland Bee Balm is committed to creating sustainable products, which is hugely important to me. They're members of the 1% for the planet, which means they donate 1% of revenue to organizations tackling our planet's most pressing environmental issues. And this is amazing. Products that are useful, natural, and add value to people's lives and the world. Portland Bee Balm provides the best hydration for your lips with clean and simple ingredients. I use a lip balm every morning and evening after I wash my face, and Portland Bee Balm has so many different varieties of scents, but my favorite is the Oregon Mint, which is so fresh and clean. The ingredients they source, the packaging that they use, all support health and well-being to the environment and community. It's so awesome. Go to portlandbeebalm.com and use this code Stacey Heine for 20% off your first order. This isn't really system and automated, related, but what are your tips for helping to grow a team? I mean, I feel like this would be a fun conversation. We could just talk about network marketing all day, but what for you, because it seems like you've been doing network marketing for a long time now, what are some things that you've found that help? Because we know with network marketing, the recruitment rate, if you will, the onboarding rate, the sponsoring rate, whatever you want to call it, rate is low. And so a lot of people come into this business, but they don't ever grow. They don't ask people to join the mission or to join the company or to join the business or whatever you want to say. Like for you over the years, Alexis, what have you found to be helpful? And I'm sure you're probably going to say to be real, right?
Well, that's one of them. I'm kind of laughing to myself as you're asking me this because I'm thinking of all the ways I've done it wrong.
Right.
So if there's a wrong way to do it, 100% I have done it that way.
Yeah.
So if you are looking to grow a team right now in the middle of the pandemic, post March 2020, I know my answer today would have been different than it would have been in 2019 or before. And there are so many people on social media right now. Yes, people will be attracted to the real you, but it is important for us to remember to make it about them. So instead of us getting on stories, I'm holding up a lip gloss right now saying, this is my lip gloss and it looks great on me because of this. And it looks great with my outfit because of this. What if you made it about her? What if you said, I can't say that this lip gloss will look great on everyone, but if you have fair skin and freckles, this may go great with with your Easter outfit, with your spring for church. And then maybe you show a graphic of some of your friends that have similar skin tones to you, and then maybe some that don't in another color. But the point I'm making is, how do you make it about them? Yes. Make it about them and not about yourself. And then tangibly, what does that look like? Well, maybe as I say that on a story, I put a poll up that says, what shade do you like, neutrals or pinks? And then see who votes. And then from there, you can take that to a conversation in the DMs. Stacey, I saw that you voted on neutrals. Tell me about some of your favorite colors to wear. If you can have her or him doing more of the talking than you're probably doing it right. Like, how much can you get them to talk? Asking them questions that are not yes or no questions. Yeah. And then the other thing I would say is just painting a picture for them. So I do think, there's a time and place to share your story. I started here because I wanted this, and now I've gotten this, right? We can share those things. But what if you painted a picture for her after you got to know her? So, Stacey votes on my poll. She likes pinks. We get to talking. She loves this lip color. She's taking it to her son's elementary school graduation. They've been there forever at that school. What if I start to paint a picture of like, Stacey, I don't know if this is ever something you've considered, but I know you mentioned going to the elementary school graduation, then you guys are heading home. Picture this with me for a moment. Like, what if after the graduation, you guys could go out to Applebee's and you could get all the appetizers and all the desserts because your business is covering that? Like, how would that feel for you? Right? That wasn't me telling my story. That was putting her in the spotlight. And that was me introducing, there might be a possibility for you here to make some extra income, not $5,000 a month, but to pay at Applebee's to order 3 appetizers.
Right.
And like, what's going to speak to her? She wants to give everything to her baby. Right. Yes. And so we just say, what's important to her, and spotlight that for her. So that could be a tangible way that you can think through, what's for her, putting polls out, getting people's opinions, and then having them talk more and trying to ask not yes or no questions. So the opposite of that.
Love that. I love that. That just really, embodies the serve first, sell second mentality with anybody that's wanting to consider network marketing. Regardless if you're a stay-at-home mom, a work from home mom, a homeschooling mom, a 9-to-5 mom, like, or whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, whoever you are, like, makes no difference. As long as you're showing up ready to serve and ready to help other people and going into it and showing, maybe you're just like showing your face on social media, not because you're not hitting the live button or recording that story because you want to sell something. You're showing up, helping their life get better in some capacity. And I love that because, Alexis, like you're saying, like, what if that, what if becoming a part of the business could help them afford that slight pain point instead of just going home like, no, honey, like things are tight, like, but you did a great job or whatever, like, or after church, like, instead of just going home, like, you could absolutely, or after graduation, like you could celebrate in the way that you really want to. And I think that really aligns with like what I try to help people do as well, which is like align their actions with their ideal existence. Like, if they could live in their dream world, like what's going on in their mind, those dreams they have, like, what would you need to do to get yourself there? And then it all comes from service. Like, we need to show up with service. So I love all of the things. Okay. Before we wrap up, I need to know your top tips. I mean, I feel like you're such a colorful woman in terms of like you've got a lot of things, a lot of irons in the fire, but like you've got it under control. So, or at least I think you do from the outside looking in. What are your top tips for people that want to walk away and know you for? Like, what do you want to be known for? What's your message that you want people to hear today?
If you are in a place of feeling like I can't anymore, Alexis, like I have to get off the hamster wheel. I'm overwhelmed. I love my business and I want to work my business. And then at the same time, I feel guilty because I'm not getting dinner ready, or vice versa. And you feel that pull on both areas. I just want to encourage you, like if we were sitting in Starbucks, I would lean in, I might like grab the top of your hand if we knew each other well enough and look in your eyes and just say, you are doing great. Mm-hmm. You are absolutely doing an amazing, amazing job. So starting with that as your foundation, because that is the truth. That is the truth, especially for those that are mothers or wives or daughters or sisters. You are showing up and most likely you are giving it your best. And so just acknowledging that. And then when it comes to strategies, like how can I do things more efficiently? How can I show up in all of these areas of my life in the best way possible? I do have a free quiz on my Instagram, and you can actually see what your score is for how efficient you are. But one of the main things I would say is get everything out on paper. Everything that's in your mind, personal, professional, and everything in between. And then the next step I always recommend is doing what I call a mental walk. It is literally, not close your eyes because you'll have to write, but mentally walking the interior perimeter of your home and writing down everything that comes to mind. I'm talking like start in your master shower and think, okay, we need more razor heads. I need to clean my makeup brushes, and not doing it at that moment or adding it to Amazon, but just writing it down. And the reason I say that is, you know, those moments when you're in the shower and you have that idea and you're like, oh, that's it. Like, that's what I need to do. Most of the time we have those moments because we're free to think for a moment. We are free to mentally breathe. So how can we expect that we can show up in full capacity in all these areas of our life when we're carrying everything in our minds? So for just a moment, get it all out on paper. And this is a more detailed process that I walk my clients through, but get it on paper, categorize it. What is work? What is personal? What is church? What is volunteer? Then prioritize each of those lists. Mm-hmm. And the reason you do that is because that gives you perspective. If you tell your upline or you put on your vision board, your goal is to sell $2,000 a month. Yet when you prioritize tasks for your business, following up with customers falls at the bottom of that list. There's not right or wrong about that. But what that says is that what you're saying with your words is not aligning with what you believe and your actions. So that can give you a chance to say, all right, I'm saying this, I'm thinking this, and it's not really showing up that way on the back end. Yeah. So being able to prioritize it lets you see, okay, these are the things that are important to me. And then you can go through that list. And like we alluded to earlier, you can say, what can I automate? What can go through Project Broadcast? What can I send out on Gmail? What can you delegate? Is it time to hire someone to help with the house? As we're recording this, I have my home assistant over, and it's not as bougie as it sounds, but she's folding my laundry for me, right? Are you at that point in your business? And are there things that you need to eliminate? You know, sometimes we just keep those things in our mind that have to, I'm making air quotes, get done. Yet we look at it on paper and we're like, that's actually not that important, right? I can just let that go and just give yourself the mental breathing room, because then when there is space, you can take a breath and you can start to breathe again. And you can start to dream, and you can focus, and you can create, and you can be in all those areas present that you want to be. But first, as simple as it might sound, you have to get everything out of your mind. So that's my number one thing that I recommend, is get it all out on paper first.
So good. I love it. Okay. Wow. Okay. So last question before we wrap up, because Mama's got to go pick Cohen up from a co-op. This is just real life situation. What does holistic living mean to you, Alexis?
When I think of the word holistic, I think of a couple of words, it includes everything. Like it's your business, it's your personal life, it's your mental, your spiritual, it's everything. It encompasses all parts of your being, all parts of your life. And so holistic living through my filter, through my lens is, how are you doing it all? And is it reflecting what's important to you? So if you are working nights and weekends, yet you say you want to spend that time with your family, there's an imbalance there. And so to holistically approach your business would to say, how can I make things so that I'm not working at night and I'm not working on the weekends? Or approaching your personal life and saying, how can I carve out more time to support the business? So it's really, for me, I would say it's looking at things as a whole instead of in sections.
Yeah, I love it. So good. Okay. So everybody's going to need to follow you. Where can we follow you?
Okay. Instagram is my jam. I love it over there. So my handle is Alexis T Greco, Greco. And you can actually, I have that free quiz in my bio, and it will automatically send you back how your percentage of efficiency and how you can improve from there. And the coolest part is it actually tells you how much money you're leaving on the table by not operating at peak efficiency. So that's at my Instagram, Alexis T Greco. It's in the link in my bio. You can find that there.
Amazing. I'm going to go take the quiz when we get home today.
Yes.
So thank you, friend. You are incredible. And I can't wait for people to give me feedback on their inspiration on this episode. So thank you so much for being on, and we will see you soon.
Thank you, Stacey.
Bye.
I'm over here cheering you on because you just finished another episode of The Urban Pharmacy. For today's show notes, head on over to theurbanpharmacy.com and be sure to join us inside our private Facebook group called The Urban Pharmacy, where we share inspiration, live trainings, and holistic living tips to help you build community and the healthy lifestyle that you've always wanted. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you hit that subscribe button and please consider leaving us a 5-star review. Before we connect again on the next show, follow me on Instagram at The Urban Pharmacy. That's urban with an H and pharmacy with an F. And I can't wait to hear your wellness journey as we get to know each other better. You know, there's truly no better time than now to level up your life, and I am so proud of you for showing up today. Until next time, be well, Health Crusader.